Hey, what's up, guys? First, let me start off by saying I really apologize for how long it's taken me to get the Let's Play out for you guys. I know it's been about a week, and I'm really sorry about that. So let's get into this. The first thing, like we always do, is you're going to go to your mailbox so we can grab all our stuff that we got from our previous, quest. Now, you should have got a Joker mask from the briefing that we did, as well as your emblem for the race we did, and you should have a new piece of gear. Now remember to always equip your gears, even if it has bad stats. Look at it and see if you have the style from it, because the more styles you have, it leads to a later on achievement. Now, if you've been playing lately, you'll notice that there's a new Aquaman quest. I won't go over it. It's pretty straightforward and easy. It's normally followed by a little instance, and then you go into a little quest form. Now, remember, I won't be showing the alerts because I already have videos up of the alerts. So what I'll do is I'll leave a link on the video so you guys can click on it. It also shows you where the briefings are in the alert. So you guys can go ahead and click the link and go straight to that. Now, for this quest that we're going to be doing now, if you should have leveled to level 14, and you should have gotten the quest saying that the Joker is crashing one of the parties of the GCPD, and this is actually the quest line for the Punchline Part 2. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this. Now, remember when we ran past, was running to the mailbox? Well, since we reached level 14, I think it's available earlier, but we can do the first wanted quest. And of course, the first wanted quest is gonna be for Full House. Remember when we were questing and when we had to take out Harley Quinn? Well, of course, it was the previous episode, but the actual, the feat as well as the quest is right here. Now, you are able to do these twice, so it's some really quick experience, as well as you get a 10-point feat for killing him. Now, because of the area that it's at, you may be fighting villains left and right, or you might get lucky and there might be some heroes there to help you out, or you can have somebody, have one of your friends or whatnot, help you take him out so you're not standing trying to fight him. Now, I will say that these wanted quests are not, they're not weak, so trying to do it at the level that at the required level for it, basically when it becomes available, you're going to have a hard time because they hit fairly hard. So I would recommend that you take someone with you when you're doing it. Now, I know that there is soloable at level 30, but since we're in the leveling part of it and you get a fairly good amount of experience from it, I would recommend taking somebody with you. Now, as you can see, he's not here right now, so I'll come back to this and I'll do it later. Well, I probably won't record it since people kill him on a fairly normal basis since he's in an actual high traffic questing zone, so you gotta kind of catch it. And the unique thing about the killing them are if you just come up and hit it a few times, you'll still get the feat from it. You don't necessarily have to stay there and fight it the whole thing, but you can't leave the area. Do not leave the area if you do decide to want to hit it while other people are fighting it, and just hang back and just keep hitting your range and you can take them out. Alright, so here's the quest. Now you can see the light straight from leaving the police district because it's not far from it. Now, this part of the quest is just like the others. You don't have to worry about getting knocked out in here, as well as you don't have to hold off on using your soda cola. You can use it as much as you want on this part. So, and I would recommend doing it while keeping an eye on your health, because you can kind of get surrounded a lot by how many Joker goons are in here. Now, I think the unique feat for this is freeing, I think about between 15 and 30 of the police officers from the box. I may be wrong, but I know the feat is for freeing cops from out of the presence. So when you're fighting, try and pull them out so you're not getting caught in groups. Now remember, when you're breaking the presence, there will be cops as well as Joker goons, so be aware of that and be mindful of your health. Now the first briefing, well, yeah, the first briefing is up here. Now I'll show you guys the briefings as well as the investigations, so you'll get both of them. And I think the first, or no, our second feat for getting the briefings and investigations, you should get a 25-point feat. So that'll be really nice. Now everything in here is fairly easy. As you guys know, I'm going tank wise, so my damage output isn't as high as someone that's running through it with DPS. And I haven't went down the tank tree completely, so I don't have all the defensive skills, so I take a lot of damage. Now the big guys, they pick up the presents and throw them, as well as you'll reach a point in this place where the little guys, the madcaps, they'll have their own little small boxes, and they do a fair amount of damage, so you want to get on them as quickly as possible so they don't get a chance to throw them at you. Now, like when we fought before, you want to be mindful of the WAG guys, because they do the charge at you that hit you for about 200 or so damage. So just so you're not taking extra damage, you want to try and kill those guys as fast as possible, or you'll get a message indicating what direction they're coming from, so just block and you won't take as much damage from it. Now a good thing about the questing, well, this particular quest is while you're freeing the cops, as you can see there, they help you take out the Joker guys. They do a fair amount of damage, and when they decide to fight, because some of them do leave, and you'll turn around and there'll be like one guy left with you, and he'll be trying his best, but it won't be a lot. But so just be, they do help. Alright, so after you hit the switch, you'll notice that there are Joker guys back. It's only 2 every few steps. So you got the 2 here, there'll be 2 at the door, and then 2 in the next room. They're really easy to kill, so you won't have to worry about it. And as you can see, I got a lot of police guys with me, so this part was actually really easy. Now I will say it does get harder because you'll be fighting and you'll be taking a lot of range damage. So like I said, just be mindful of your health. But in this part, you can use your soda cola, and I can use my supercharge. If anybody did pick up the supercharge, tell me what you thought of it. I mean, it's a quick heal. It sucks that the stipulation on it counts as you using your soda cola or a consumable. So, but I like how much it heals you for, as well as it encasing you in, you know, earth, so you don't take any outside damage. Alright, so we're going to break the present, and this is the actual switch for the door. Now I almost missed it, but the investigation is actually in the room across from here. I only caught it because of the way I had the camera angle when I was walking up to hit the switch. So here's investigation number 1 for this quest. Now, if you're wondering about the item, I mean, you find out after you check your mailbox after you complete the quest, but the item for the Punchline is always a Joker mask. So I myself haven't tried to wear them. I didn't like them for some reason. I don't know. All right, now the second briefing is in this room. Now I'll show it to you in a second. We're just going to clear out the room first. Now remember, when you're breaking the boxes, be mindful that some of them contain Joker goons, so just keep an eye on your health. Oh, I've gotten used to doing the combos for the shield. It took me a second because it tells you to tap your left click a number of times and then hold it, but I found it easier for the drop kick, when you drop kick the shield into the guy's face and pick up the stun, I found it easier to just hit it twice and then hold it, and you'll do like the shield ground punch, well, downwards punch, and then tap it again and then hold for whatever number of the combo you want it to end with. It works a lot better that way than trying to count off how many times you're swinging at them. I mean, after you get used to it, you kind of don't even count. You just look at your animation and you know when to do it. All right, now the briefing is up here. You'll miss it because when you walk into the room, you wouldn't even think to look up here. So straight from the door, so you know exactly how to get to it. Just walk right in and straight across, and then climb the wall, or fly, or run up the wall. I think super speed might have the hardest time, since you're running upward, and you gotta like stop yourself before you run too far. So here's number 2. Alright, so let's make our way through, and what do you know, a lot more Joker guys. Now, did you see the big guy pick up the present? Now, those are the guys you kind of got to watch out for, because they could throw them at you, and they do a fairly good amount of damage. Alright, if you want, you can, pick it up and throw it back. Now, a lot of the times, I won't try and get the cops up as quickly as possible, because, as you can see, there's a little second where you're getting them up. If you get hit, you got to do it again and again. So it's just take out the ones in the area before you do it. And there's our second investigation. Now, I will say, in one of my previous videos, someone mentioned to me about my loadout. A lot of the skills become available as you level, and if you hover over them, you'll see the level in which it'll be unlocked. So I know my loadout is a little crappy right now, and I'll get to the other cooler skills as we start the level. I know that the tank skills that I need aren't going to be available until 16. Now we'll level to 15 within this quest. So remember, we're getting experience from a number of places. And did you guys notice that the small green dudes were throwing the presents at me? As you can see, my health is getting really low. You see it? See it? Look at that. So you want to try and get, like, really try and kill these guys as quickly as possible. I'm about to die. I tell you, the stone grab thing is just so useful. I'm not out of combat, can't get my health up. Okay, here we go. That's another thing to keep note of. When you get out of combat, your health regenerates at a fairly good pace, so you won't be standing around forever. I tell you, that move is actually really useful because it knocks everybody down around me, and it also heals your Earth little summon. Now I can't wait until I get the tank one, because when I summon him, because I'm using the offensive one, it dies so fast. So, like, I mean, I'm happy that it converts the damage, but it goes down too quickly. And I've noticed that sometimes that it stops attacking. Like, you'll be fighting and it'll just be like hovering around the whole area, and you're wondering if it's going to do something, but it doesn't. Health is going down some more. Now I guess fight to the bitter end. Alright, well, hopefully no, won't be here they come. Now, I'm trying not to get knocked out, just in case it happens to, well, the stipulation happens to be here too, but I don't think so, and I get knocked out anyway. Alright, so areas like that where he comes swarming at you, just try and separate yourself from him and either take them out one by one, or if you're a DPS with a lot of heavy AoE that also has its own CC to it, then just try and go in and burst them all down, or at least CC them, you know, good enough where so you can just take them out and they won't be too much of a hassle. I guess one upside to getting knocked out is you come back with full health, so that makes it easy. And I just found me a Promethean box. Now, Promethean boxes are random, so you can find them all just about anywhere. If you are not paying the, well, if you're not legendary status, which is paying the $15 a month, you cannot open them at any time. You actually have to go into the market and purchase a key. So if you find them and you plan on paying for it, or you're not sure, well, it depends on if you plan on paying for it or not. I would keep them. You can throw them away, but they do contain a lot of useful things. Sometimes marks, sometimes little potions that also gives you buffs, sometimes gear. I found a couple, well, I've opened a couple of them and I got some yellow gear that was a whole lot better than anything I got from a quest, and I wound up not changing it until I was like into my 20s, heading into my 30s. Well, heading into max level, which is 30. Alright, so I got the cop up. Now, on a number of occasions, I've seen the WAG guy one-shot the cops. So, if he charges, just try and move yourself away from him so that you can, you know, get the full benefit of having that assistance. Or you can just bring somebody in here with you. That makes it a lot easier because people can do the quest with you, even if they don't have it. Ah, there it is. I knew it was for, you know, freeing the cops out of the presence. Alright, so we got another 10 points. Now, you don't have to fight Clayface. The reason why is because Batman tells you that there's a switch to lock him up. I don't, like, I can understand why the cops have it in an open spot just in case something like this happens. I mean, look. See? Didn't have to, no strain on you at all. You didn't lose any extra health, and the Joker guys wasn't paying you enough attention to even try and stop you. Alright. Now there's an investigation and a briefing in here. And look at that, right next to each other. So we're 3 of the investigation, and here's our 3rd briefing. I was actually surprised at how close they were to each other in this quest, and that's not even the only one that's like that. Now in here, we're just protecting the exobyte data, and come to find out, they stop caring about the computer if you pull them out of the room. So this was actually really easy. Look at that. And finally Batman mentions that we need to protect the computer. Beat back those clowns before the data is destroyed. I love that shield throw. One thing that messed me up though, I think on another character, I destroyed the computer. I don't know if you can destroy it anymore, but I think on another character that I had, I was targeting the machine, so when I was swinging, the guy was standing in front of it, so I figured I was hitting him. Couldn't find out my targeting was on the computer, and I wound up destroying it. Now I don't know if you can still do that, but oh man, that messed me up, and I had to leave and come back in. I was glad that everything didn't reset. Alright, and here's the second part of the quest. What? Oh, really? I'm out doing a quest and I look down and a cop is getting beat up by one of these really poor villains. Look at that. Alright, about to go in here and stop the Joker. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll definitely see you soon.